Thank you for choosing CTN. And now, it's time with Herman and Sharron.
I love you. Thank you for
everybody.
joining us. This is my wife,
That's
Herman
right.
Bailey. And we just returned from Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
That's right.
And
Had a wonderful time.
at 75, she's 75, I'm 76, we walked the hills of Tennessee. And it was like my sister says, you don't ever want to go with them and try to keep up with them. You can't do it. But I mean, the Lord has really
It's been
blessed
good.
us
Yes, that's right.
because we try to take care of,
Our bodies
yeah.
with vitamins and healthy things, good food and kale and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about that. And I can tell by that look on your face, you're going to say something that you're going to regret. So you're not going to say it.
Because we're celebrating next month our 56, so I kind of want to get there.
Yeah, you're right.
Bruce Brightman is with us today.
Yes.
And he has
That's why we're talking about vitamins.
There he is, right? I mean, if he stood up and you saw these things right here, they're called guns, the muscles, you would say Mr. Universe. But he has become a real good friend, and he's an entrepreneur. He is just so blessed because the priorities in his life, the Lord Jesus Christ, that's his priority. He helps Campus Crusade organizations that present the gospel, but he chooses the ones that are the kind of soil that you want to give to. You know, they're good soil. And
he takes care of his body. That's why he looks so good.
That's why the visual is very good. Good to have you again.
Thank you. Great to be here.
What a
Great to be
blessing.
here. Yeah, thank you.
I've got to show you, Dave, put that verse on the screen, because my devotions this morning, I came across this verse, and I do all kinds of things to David Martin, my director. I bring things to him late, you know, and he just works with me. So, I mean, I'm blessed. This is the verse, 1 Corinthians 9:27, New Living Translation. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified. Now, the context of that obviously is when you know Christ as Savior, walk the talk. And that has to do with physical also, doesn't it?
Absolutely, right. That's a major thing that you can do. You're here to be physically strong so you can deliver the message, right? The weak, it's tough to deliver the message if you're sickly and you can't move well and all this. And
it just looks, it's a bad appearance. It's like, but and let me tell you, as much as I take care of myself, in fact, Dave, you want to show them my stash that I got from this organization, which is one of the finest, by the way. It's Life Source Vitamins. Bruce is the founder, president. He's the guy at the top. And but that's my stash. That was what I ordered. Let me just give you. I got a little note here of what some of that stuff is. I mean, as I was telling Bruce, I said I got this anal personality that when I start something, I've got to do it. And it's like, and I was just saying to him, I have to be careful what I start, because then I get tied into it and I can't quit. Am I?
That's right.
Yes,
that's true.
She said to me many times, you know, I'll say, you know, I want to start so-and-so, just, you know, example. And she'll go, honey, do you really want to? Because you know what happens when you start this stuff. You stick to it from now on. I don't know if I want to put up with it. In other words, she's got to live with this thing. And but some of the stuff, some of my stash, Dave, you can just kind of shoot that, vitamin C, coconut oil, CoQ10, even deer antler, and these are little drops that you take. DHA 500 milligram for sleep, garlic, and it's odorless, by the way, because Sharon's never complained. Goji juice, and so on and so on. Magnesium, citrate, memory enhancers, men's potency, I need that, at 76. MSM 1,000 milligram, on and on we go. But what I have there is kind of what I want. Now, today's program is kind of framed around how do the viewers that are watching right now that say, you know what, I would like to have a good program, but I don't know what that would look like. How do you help them?
Well, you take a lot of product.
Yeah.
That is your deal. For us, we want to get people back to a body level that your body will create. When it gets the right nutrients, it creates this stable environment, and then it can start operating and fixing things on its own. The current environment is we don't have the proper intake. It says 75% of all Americans don't meet the RDI, recommended daily intake of nutrients to be healthy, 75%. And as you age, it gets higher. So you take out the 20, 30, and 40-year-olds, and now it's 55 and above, they're at like 90. So our goal is, without a doubt, you have to take a multivitamin because it fills in all the gaps. The few biggest nutrients that most Americans are missing, magnesium is a big one. Calcium for women is huge. Vitamin A, vitamin C, zinc, vitamin B12, vitamin D is huge.
Look at your screen right there.
Yeah, there it is right there. Vitamin K, potassium, vitamin E, choline. And all of these over long term can truly affect what happens to your body.
It says you will experience lack of energy, poor immune system, weak bones, arthritic condition, even brain decline, which you want that, folks.
Okay, I've got a question to ask
Yeah.
you about the magnesium. I know it's really, really important to take.
How long have I taken it?
A long time. He can take 4 at a time, which he has done. I can't take the pill magnesium. Is there? It just upsets my system no end. So I had to stop taking the kind that he takes. Is there a? I know there's different kinds of magnesium. Is there different kinds you can take then if you can't take the pill?
Yeah, in fact, in multivitamins, you'll find good ones like a liquid or any whole food based, you're going to get a magnesium in it. So it's going to be derived from a food base, which is all of our vitamins are food based.
She can take the magnesium citrate, which is a liquid.
Right.
But that, yeah, you don't want to take too much of that.
Right, right. So what we want to do is just try to get you to take a multivitamin and fill in the gaps around the multi with other items. But
So if somebody right now watching said, you know, I'd like to do this, I don't know how to start it. So you're saying a multivitamin begin.
that is, everybody in America should be taking a multivitamin. And you can't take a synthetic multi because we know what happens
Is there
with
a
the body.
multivitamin on here on this?
Yeah, this is a liquid.
Okay, right
A
there.
liquid multivitamin.
Yeah, and that's 100% whole food based. It's made of,
Okay.
plant based.
Now I could
So-
do that.
You
I'm
could
not
do
a good
this
pill
easy.
taker, but I
Yeah.
could do
Right.
that.
He's
And that you
focusing
take
in right
one
now.
shot a day is all you take.
Really?
Take it with some food because it's potent stuff, but it gives you everything you need for the day
There it is.
as a multivitamin.
Look at that, Sharon.
Okay.
Lay your eyes on that baby.
And that's a 30-day supply in
And
that
you know,
jug.
yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, it's like the magnesium citrate. You can go with the liquid.
See, I can do the liquids. I can't do the pills as
now,
well.
now,
So
how,
this would be
okay.
great for me.
Would it be like a capful?
Yes, one capful, or I think it's 2 tablespoons in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 tablespoons. So 1 capful or 2 tablespoons.
That'd be
But a
perfect.
capful, you can put that in orange juice, you can put it in whatever you drink.
Yeah,
If you want to do it, have it with toast, have it with a bagel, have it with your breakfast of any kind.
See, this guy's
do
really
it
real.
You can even do it at lunch. You know, it doesn't matter when you do it. Don't do it at night. But what we want is for you to call us if you have questions, and we'll walk you through it because we want to know what you're taking for your cholesterol. We want to know if you're on a blood thinner, so we can customize
That's
this.
a good
And you don't
idea.
need a ton of items to become healthy.
No.
He takes a ton. He looks amazing for 76. That's not the norm. The norm for us would be, for a woman, 3 things you have to have: multivitamin, calcium, without question, those 2, and the third would be an omega. For men, it's the omega, whatever it is, omega 369, a multivitamin, and from that point we go into the men's vitality, the men's potency, if you want to feel a little more vigor in your step and things like that. And then we get the body to balance. Once it gets to balance, then it takes a little bit of time. Vitamins don't work overnight, but it's the most important thing anybody can do with regard to nutrition, other than eating as good as possible, which we hope everybody's trying to do. And it's almost impossible to eat that great all the time.
Well, when we went on vacation that week,
We did very badly.
we did very bad.
Right, and
it
that's
was
easy to do.
And it was
Bad kid.
because Sharon,
Ah.
Sharon caused me to be tempted.
Right.
Right.
That's how that works. It's always the wife's fault.
Is vitamin D3 the same as omega-3?
No, totally separate.
Really?
Yeah, omega-3 comes from fish oil, that type thing. So there's an omega-3, 6, and 9, which I take daily. It's got the omega-3, obviously the omega-6 borage oil, and the omega-9.
that over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
What's the name of it? I'm gonna-
Omega-3, 6, and 9. I think it's on
Right in
top
the
of one.
front.
Okay, omega-3, 6.
Super omega-3, 6, and 9.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so what's the difference if isn't vitamin D a fish oil too?
No, so vitamin D is not a fish oil, but it's so important. And since you mentioned vitamin D, it's one of the 10 biggest things that people are missing. 90% of the population, and this includes young kids and the elderly, so really it's probably closer to 95% of people 55 like me and above.
Right.
So 95% are missing the vitamin D. And here's a little statement from the National Institute of Health. People, and this, I want to read it because it's very well scripted from a company that, or an organization that doesn't promote vitamins, right? People with optimum vitamin D levels can expect better health across the board, a longer life, a reduction in death rates from all causes. Now, this is from the National Institute of Health. Few overall diseases, stronger bones and muscle, fewer and less severe infections, less depression and anxiety, pain and inflammation. But yet 90% of the U.S. population are deficient. Doesn't that kind of explain a lot of
They
what's
test
happening?
you now.
Did they put a disclaimer on that?
Yeah,
They test you for vitamin D when you go in for your
correct. It
physical now.
never used to be tested.
No.
Never used to be tested. And there's easy ways to get vitamin D, right? You go out in the sun for 15 minutes 3 times a week. It's going to help you. There's also a downside to going out in the sun for 15 minutes. So if you can get just a little bit of sunlight, sometimes I tell people, the minute people get out in the sun, they put on sunglasses. Most of the vitamin D is absorbed through the eyeballs, and it's called a supercharged vitamin D. It's millions times stronger than what I would sell, but your body processes it so fast because it's in the eyeballs and it goes into your system so fast that it can't be duplicated. And who do you think made that,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Nobody can compete with God.
Now, she breaks out. I mean, she can literally go out and
I
just.
have a sun allergy,
just,
so I can't
just
go in
cut
the sun.
some weeds or whatever.
That's
Yeah,
why I have
there's
to
a lot
take
of
the
people-
vitamin D.
Right. So we have a sublingual. It's amazing. It'll get your levels where they need to be. Optimum level is not thousands and thousands of milligrams. It's 1,000 milligrams a couple times.
Yes, that's what I
and
do.
it slowly builds and gets you to an optimum level. But vitamin D, it works on almost all parts of your body, from your livers and kidneys, which of course regulate everything in your body, from the white blood cells to all your blood counts are all derived through the kidney and the liver.
How do you keep the liver correct?
Yeah, you just, there's cleansing that you can do for the liver. We have a liver detox. You can take a liver detox a couple times a year, and it just cleans out your liver, gets it back to almost square one, if you will. But you don't have to take that all the time. So it's one of those things that you clean it out a couple times a year.
You don't take it all the time.
Right. So you don't have to take it. It's, one of those things. It's one of the few things that you don't have to take all the time. Multivitamins are a daily regimen. Again, over time, you're combating, if you're going to start vitamins today, if I were 50 plus, I'm fighting 50 plus years of not taking it. So my body has not had the right nutrients for 50 years because I don't have the magnesium, calcium, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin A, zinc.
Now,
So
will your
now
body
I'm
react when you start adding that to what it's never had?
Yes, oh yeah, you will definitely feel a difference, but over the long term is what we're getting at. If you take a product that works within a couple of days, that's almost a stimulant. What we want is a slow build in the body, so it's in every fiber of the body. We want a slow build. We don't want a stimulant, right? We don't sell anything that's a stimulant. You know, you hear all these things on
Or the
TV.
energy drinks.
You hear all that on TV. You take this, and within 30 days, your eyesight's going to be back to perfect. Doesn't happen. You take a diet pill, and in 30 days, you're going to lose 8 pounds. There is no diet pill that will make you lose 8 pounds. You know what will make you lose 8 pounds? The diet pill, watching what you eat, and doing a little bit of exercise. That is what it is.
That's the
You
key.
could almost do that without the diet pill.
Yeah.
If you just watch what you
Isn't
ate.
it amazing? We will pay $1,000 to go to a diet organization, and they will convince you that if you'll stay with us, we will allow you, or your body will drop 10 to 15 to 20 pounds, okay? You pay that grand.
Right.
When all we would have to do, where's my camera? All we would have to do is stop eating
Yeah, but
so
you-
much.
I know.
That's
but
all.
It might be easy for you, but it's not for a lot of people.
No,
Their body craves the food.
It is
It's
the
not-
hardest thing.
It's not easy. Everybody says it's easy for me. It is not. I mean, you were with me last week.
It's a lot
Do I like to
easier for
eat?
you. Yes, you do like to
If
eat.
I continued eating the way we did last
yell
week,
at me.
what size would I be?
I don't know. What size would you be?
I would be in the 300-pound area.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
never would.
Well, no, I wouldn't. I mean, I have this.
No.
I don't know, this psychological thing that I.
Right.
Once I put on 10 pounds, it's like I am crazy.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it's tough. So for us, we always preach baby steps. Instead of eating, if you're going to eat French fries, leave 5 on the plate when you're done. Don't eat the last 5. The next time you eat French fries, hopefully it's not for a little bit longer, leave 7, 8. And at some point, you're just going to start the process of thinking about what you're eating at all times. Write down everything you eat all day. Even if you eat 3 little pieces of chocolate, write that 3 pieces of chocolate. Write the BLT. Write everything down and then start looking at it. And then you'll start making little tiny decisions which make a huge difference.
You're right.
You know, you literally have to run 35 miles to lose 1 pound of body weight.
Wow.
35 miles to lose 1 pound. And that's not if you're increasing your appetite, shall we say, but 35 pounds. Now, here's something beautiful. If you gain 1 pound of muscle going to the gym, doing push-ups, doing little things at home, if you're 75 or 80 years old and you can't really get around, you can do things that just are resistant type things. If you can gain 1 pound of body muscle, it'll burn 75 calories every single day. So let's say you add 5 pounds of lean muscle just by doing little things around the house. 5 pounds, 75 times 5, right? So now you're up 350. Wow. 350 calories, and that's sitting still with your body, burning 350 more calories a day.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Say that again, because I have never heard that chart.
Yeah, so for every 1 pound of muscle you put on, your body will burn 75 calories sitting still. That's why
Now, how do you put that muscle on?
little things you can do. You can do little push-ups. If you can't do push-ups, you can do them on your knees. If you can't do squats, you can
How about
squat
these little
down.
5-pound weights?
You can get your milk jug and do one arm curls with a milk jug on this arm, and then on this arm, and then, you know,
Yeah.
you can raise the milk jug over your head.
Make sure you put
You
it
can
back in
do
the refrigerator.
small jumping jacks where you don't jump at all, but you're just moving.
Look at that. And this is from your information. Exercising. This is the second major key to aging healthy. Any kind of exercise that elevates your heart rate will work. And what you're talking about, now you're into boxing?
I mean, yes, a little bit, but, you know, I just mean if you're at home, can I stand up real quick?
Yes.
If you're at home
Make sure you have a
and
long
you're just
shot 'cause he's
standing,
tall.
you can, just to raise your heart rate, this is all you have to do. Anybody can do that. And if you can only do a little bit of squats, just down a couple inches, a couple times. First time you do 5 squats, the next day you're going to get up to 6 or 7, and all of a sudden you're going to start feeling wow. And once your muscles start engaging, you'll notice your knees won't hurt any longer. You'll notice, because it's building the muscle around the decaying knee, right? Because your knees, the ligaments start to go as we age. our eyes are starting to get a little bit, we need glasses. Our hair's receding. Our muscle tone is going. I was talking to Linda, by the time you are 70 years old, 40 to 50% of all of your muscle is gone. 40 to 50%.
What happens when you're 76? Dead?
If you keep in shape like you do, you're in great shape. And that's the key. And it's never too late to start. Just because you're 75 or 80 years old right now, it's not too late to start.
Yeah.
Our goal is to make sure that not just living longer, but living longer, healthier, so you can enjoy your loved ones. There's a lot of people sitting out there right now, sitting down, thinking, this is not what life was supposed to be at 80 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it.
Yeah.
I understand it. Our goal is to get you to health through nutrients, vitamins, and a little bit of working out. Just a tiny little bit. Doesn't have, because that tiny little bit that you're going to do today, when you see this show, you're going to do just a little bit today. Tomorrow you might do a little more. And in a couple of months down the road, you could be a machine. Your own family is going to look at you and be like, wow, look at what mom's doing. Look at grandma. Look at grandpa. What an amazing thing.
Say that again. If you put on muscle, how much?
1 pound equals 75 calories burning sitting still. So bodybuilders actually, you know, those really huge guys that get their body so big that it's not natural, they take this other kind of supplements that we wouldn't touch at Life Source. But they burn so much sitting still because they're so muscular. 10,000 calories a day they have to eat.
You know, they can eat all kinds
They
of
can eat
stuff.
all day long, every day, because they're all muscle. Wow. Right? So our goal is to get a little bit of muscle tone. And once you start getting a little bit of muscle tone, that muscle is looking for food. And what does it eat? Fat. Now all of a sudden, this 75 calories, this 150, 225, 300, 350, now it's looking for fat to eat. And all of a sudden, you're going to start losing weight, right? And then all of a sudden, your joints stop hurting as much because you're not carrying around 2 15-pound bowling balls. Now you're down to 1 15-pound bowling ball. Now you're down to a 7-pound bowling ball, to 3. Now you're at a decent level for your body weight.
I remember years ago, a person that I was going to have on the show, I wanted to give a visual, and the person had lost 50 pounds. So I had a backpack with 50 pounds in it. And when they came on, I said, now, during the show, I want you to stand up, and I'm going to put this backpack, 50-pound backpack, on you. This is what the person had lost. And I said, now walk around. There was enough room to walk around. And the person could not believe that I've been carrying that for a year. Mm-hmm. Just putting it on in the show exhausted the person.
Right.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. You know,
how is it that does the body distribute the weight so that it's not as bad as carrying a 50-pound backpack?
It doesn't matter to your knees and your joints. It just doesn't matter. But it does distribute it. But men carry it in their bellies.
Yes.
Women carry it in different areas.
Yeah.
They're all different. But most men carry it in their bellies, right? So once your belly goes over your belt by a percentage, that's when the risk of heart disease, heart attack, stroke, all this starts to exponentially grow. So
now, how come we don't believe that? We don't believe that.
I know. It's tough, and you know we're a fast food nation, right? So for us, our goal is to make people realize tiny little steps make a humongous difference. An inch, you know, football's a game of inches. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it is with life, you know. If you can just cut back just a tiny little bit, exercise a tiny little bit, because we know what happens with the human spirit. Mm-hmm. They lose a pound, they get excited. Now they've ratchet up and do 20 push-ups on their knees.
Well, isn't overweight also a problem with type 2 diabetes?
Yes.
So you can actually eliminate, because Jim Baker does a lot of vitamin things on this network, and he was saying that he had type 2 diabetes. Mm-hmm. He went on a special plan. He said he no longer takes any medication for his diabetes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's diet related. Diabetes, They say within the next 15 to 20 years, half of America will be diabetic.
Wow.
Without question, it's already a done deal. It'll be the biggest expenditure for our healthcare system. And that's just because people are doing this. Eating, just eating.
We've got too
and I
much
know it's
food.
hard. It's so hard to not eat. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I am a food junkie. I love everything about it. I love the finest of foods and gravies. And
How tall are you?
6'4".
6'4". So you could carry, without me even saying you're fat, a ton of food, or a ton of weight, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can carry more than somebody that's 5'9", but I still
Well, I mean,
look really bad.
you could probably put on 75 pounds, and I wouldn't even call you overweight.
Right. I think you would. I think you'd see it more. I mean, and I need, I'm just like everyone else. I need to lose weight and all that, and be in the gym more frequently and all that.
Well,
and I know life gets in the way.
I came back from Gatlinburg, got on my scale, which I get every day, and then I
Log
journal
it.
what's happened, what I ate and everything. 10 pounds over
You gained 10 pounds in 1 week.
in 1
You
week.
see how fast you can gain, and so
And
that's
the average person, though, Bruce, will put that 10 on, and they'll say, and they'll keep eating at that rate, put on another 10, they've got 20 now, and they go, man, that's going to be tough. And then they'll and now they got 25, and pretty soon it's out of control.
right.
It was the fudge. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that.
It was my wife.
So the average person puts on a pound a month. Now, doesn't sound like a lot. 12 pounds a year? Oh, I can take that off and no problem. Now times it by 2. Now you're at 24. 3, 36, 48. In 4 years, you are now carrying that 50-pound backpack. And all of you that have grandkids and kids that are young, pick that 50-pound kid up. That is what you're carrying extra every single day. That 50-pound child,
Wow.
pick that child up, that's what you're carrying. So this whole thing is a different mindset. We want to get you back to healthy. We have products that can help with cholesterol, blood pressure, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
There it is,
sure
right on the
do.
screen. Thanks, Dave, for that. And let me tell you, that multivitamin that you're seeing in the center of that screen right now, as Bruce says, get that. Just start with that. And
You know what?
he has a magazine that has all of his products. So go
Say
to
the phone number.
Okay, that's right, because we have people
Yeah.
that don't without sight, and I love you guys. 1-800-567-8122. 800-567-8122. And if you would like their website, www.lifesourcevitamins.com, and make yourself available to all of this great product. And it's not made in China. It's made here in the USA. We can trust it. God bless you. Open the Word of God. Jesus is your answer. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching It's Time. If you have recently made a decision for Christ, Herman and Sharron would like to hear from you.